Dev Patel had worked at Helix Enterprises for 9 years. Not flashy, not loud, just reliable. A project manager with a quiet confidence, Dev delivered results, mentored interns, and stayed late when deadlines loomed. He didn't socialize much, but he never caused trouble either. So when the regional manager position opened up, many assumed Dev would be a top contender. Instead, whispers filled the office. He's too soft-spoken. Doesn't really fit the leadership mold. You know, he's kind of reserved. What they didn't say out loud was that Dev, an Indian American, didn't look or sound like the leaders the company had always picked. White, extroverted, assertive. He wasn't even interviewed. Dev tried not to let it show, but something inside him fractured. He began coming in later, stopped volunteering for extra work, started declining mentorship requests. He felt invisible. One person noticed: Leah. Leah was new. A white woman in her mid-40s, she had just transferred from another branch and was adjusting to the culture at Helix. She noticed how others talked over Dev in meetings, how his emails were often ignored, and how he suddenly started sitting in the back during company-wide presentations. One day, after a strategy meeting where Devi's idea was taken and reworded by someone else and got praised, Leah asked him out for lunch. They sat on a bench overlooking the city skyline. "You okay?" she asked. "I'm fine," he said automatically. "You don't seem fine. I've seen the way they treat you. It's not right." Dev looked at her, startled. "I thought I was imagining it." "You weren't." He exhaled deeply. "I've done everything right, worked hard, played by the rules, but it never seems to be enough." Leah didn't respond right away. Then she said, "Would you let me help?" Dev shook his head. "Thanks, but I don't want pity." "It's not pity," she replied. "It's solidarity." Over the next month, Leah used her position and voice to highlight Dev's contributions. She gave him credit in meetings, forwarded his suggestions to upper management with his name bolded, and openly pushed for him to lead a new cross-regional initiative. At first, people were uncomfortable. Is she trying to make this about race? But Leah stayed firm. "I'm making this about merit." Eventually, people started listening. Dev's initiative succeeded, beyond expectations. Clients praised his leadership, and employees reported higher morale under his management. Then, without warning, the senior vice president of operations visited the office. He called Dev into his office. Dev assumed the worst, but instead, the VP shook his hand. "I reviewed the data. You've outperformed every regional manager we've had in 5 years. I apologize for the oversight. I'd like to offer you the position. Permanently." Dev was stunned. "Thank you, sir." The next day, as Dev cleaned out his desk to move upstairs, he walked past Leah. "Guess you were right," he said. She smiled. "No, you were right. They just needed help seeing it." Years passed. Under Dev's leadership, Helix became known for its inclusive culture. Diverse voices were hired, promoted, and celebrated. Leah stayed close, serving as his co-director in strategy. Together, they built a workplace where no one had to fight for visibility again. Dev would often reflect on those difficult weeks, how close he had come to quitting, how one person choosing to speak up instead of staying silent changed the course of his entire life. It's easy to believe racism only lives in headlines or angry chants, but sometimes it lives in overlooked resumes, quiet boardroom biases, the silence after someone deserving is passed over, and sometimes all it takes to fight it is one voice willing to say, "That's not okay." If this story inspired you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Every view, like, and comment helps us bring more untold stories of hope, change, and humanity into the light. Thank you for standing with us.